Good morning, teacher. This is Brian Maecha, and I'm going to answer the two questions that are related to the homework for today. So, the first question is how do you think the ICC or the Intercultural Communicative Competence structures teaching and learning practices at schools and universities? So, I think that is a kind of obvious that the role of the teacher has changed a lot over the time. So the teacher that just focuses on grammar, that just focuses on vocabulary, that just focuses on the meaning of a word, is not going to have success anymore. That teacher is obsolete. The teachers nowadays have to emphasize more about the aspects that are behind the cultures. For example, um, the gestures, the beliefs, the ways to think, the ways to behave, and understanding why it happens. So that's important to be conscious about. And the responsibility of the teacher is to create conditions for that to happen. What about the role of the students? The students has to be open to the curiosity, has to be open-minded, has to try to interpret the way of thinking, of the way of behaving of another culture. The students has to be willing to discovery, has to be willing to interact with another person from another culture. It is not just exchanging information, it is creating relationships, creating experience. Okay, let's see the second question. How would you define an intercultural teacher? Okay, an intercultural teacher basically is what I said before. A teacher, an intercultural teacher, has to be or has to create the environment for the students to be open-minded, has to create in a dynamic way uh, how to create relationships and how to start disappealing prejudice and stereotypes. So I would like to give you, teacher, an example. So I studied in American School Way, and I had a teacher that was from Albania. He he his name was Hockey, or is Hockey because he's not dead, I think. Um, he's Muslim. You know that Muslim people have a different way to think. So I am Christian, and I like to know more about the state of Israel. So I had to make an oral presentation, and my oral presentation was about the state of Israel, and I didn't take into account that the teacher didn't support the state of Israel because he was Muslim. So I thought that the teacher was going to feel uncomfortable and was going to maybe rate me in a negative way. But no, it happened the opposite. The teacher understood me perfectly. The teacher walked in my shoes. The teacher made me feel that he understood me perfectly, excuse me. And that's a good aspect of an intercultural teacher that do not a teacher does not just take into account their own perspective of looking at the life, but that teacher have a good behavior about what maybe could in another situation could offend a Muslim person. So I think that teacher had a good. That teacher was really open-minded. That teacher was really open-minded, and he didn't judge me. And the teacher was able to answer or to ask any question related to the topic, and he didn't feel uncomfortable. So I think that that teacher is a good example of an intercultural teacher that creates an intercultural thinking, because he told to me like, hey, you bro, me and you are we are brothers, and even though we don't believe in the same things, we are brothers, and we are part of the environment of this institution, and we have to understand each other in a good way. So there is not any problem to discuss about these topics. So for me, that was a good aspect. So teacher, this is my homework. I hope you like it. Excuse me for the mistakes about grammar. And thank you very much. See you on Monday.